Okay, so here's our label track. There's two ways that you can label your audio using this label track. Again, if you just want to use a notebook method and just simply record the times on a notebook, that's fine too. And then it's just a matter of selecting the audio and dragging to select a region and copying and pasting it into a new track. But let's go through the label track function really quick. As you can see, whenever I make a click point by just clicking with the mouse down here, you can kind of barely see where it is up here in where the elapsed time. So if you want to just click there and begin typing, so let's just say that we've already previewed that, and we say goes to training. Okay, and then return that. So it makes us, it just makes a single point. And we can do this down here too. Well, we do it down here. Okay, I want to mark this. So I'm going to just click down here and begin typing that he came home. I'm just making this stuff up. Okay, great. So at this point, we just have these just single points. But watch this. Let's say we already know from here to here is what we want. As a possible clip to put on our podcast. We can literally just take a little handle here and drag this out. And you see, there we go. Now we have this region, this whole part from here to here. And by the way, can you see the yellow guides? That tells us that we're right on that point. And the little finger pointing that can also drag out now. We're exactly there. So, and that's exactly what we can do. You can do it the other way down here too if you want. So, there we go. Make this, just drag that out. If you just drag the little ball, see it moves the whole thing. Okay, well that might be useful. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so there you go. You can do the single or drag it out kind of a thing and adjust. Okay, so how is this useful? So at the end of the day, you've got, and by the way, use your slider to go down. Here's another one. Let's see. Comes to base. And you can just leave the single point in there if you want. But we'll drag it out here. So let's say we've got the whole thing kind of labeled like this. That's all this track does is label. But it does one other thing, and let's take a look. If you can see that this track is highlighted, and what we want to get this region without going through all that trouble of clicking and dragging and all that. So here's how we do it. So we're going to highlight this, and by clicking up here, I have highlighted this track. See? These are now got a yellowish border. So when you see that, whatever is highlighted is going to be associated with this label. So I'm just going to click in here anywhere in this text, and it chooses the region. At that point, I can just Command-C, Command-V to paste into our track that we're going to make next. So that's pretty cool. And I was going to show you the other cool thing about dragging the little ball handle right here. And when you do that, it automatically adjusts the region. However, if you just drag the little triangle, it just does the one. So that's a good thing to know, possibly useful. So either way, a more simpler method really is to click and drag and not have a label track, and we'll just copy and paste it onto our track, our new track, which we're going to make right this second. So we're going to go to Track, New, Audio Track. And there we go. Now this one you might want to rename. That's it. So we'll hit the final. What is this guy's? I forget his name. Anyway, a read podcast, and then you could also put the date. Just for a more efficient way of noting which podcast this is. All right. So here we go. Let's say, okay, we're ready to make our clips. Let's go ahead and get these three that we've already got labeled right here. So let's go ahead and do it. And so I'm going to highlight this by clicking up there, clicking in here, Command C, which is copy, or you could use the little copy thing here. Go down here, Command V as in Victor, which is paste. Okay, great. So let's do this one. Select, Command C, Command V. Okay, and we have one more to go, which is here. Highlight, Command C, and it doesn't have to be nearby. It could be down here. And let's just do that. Command click point and Command V to paste. Great. Well, guess what? We just built the beginnings of our podcast. Now, I'm going to go to another tool real quick, and that is the time shift, and that's how we move things around. Okay, so I'm going to choose that, and look, if I go down to these clips, anyone with this kind of horizontal double arrow, I can move them around on the timeline, and that's great. Not only can I move them around, I can bump them up. I can't go beyond. I can't go, it won't go into it, but it'll go next to it. And there we have 3 clips. You can tell by this vertical line. But we can also move this. We could move these around, shuffle them around. So say I want this one over here after all. I'm just going to drag it over here, and you have to get far enough away so that it won't overlap, and then you can drag it back. Well, now you're beginning to see a problem here, right? We still don't know what these. There was no way to really label these, and when you move them around, they will not be associated with the label. So that's one of my biggest issues with Audacity. You're not doing a terribly long podcast, so it may be okay. And you're going to be playing this thing back so many times. So there's your basic build of making your podcast. So in the next part, we're just going to go through, and I'm going to show you how to tweak these edges and possibly add a little bit of music, and we'll raise and lower the volume.